Of Yahweh Shem Shai, Washem Rakakwadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and salutations unto the Akim that continue to push the void in truth and in sincerity, man. And also shout out to the brothers and sisters that are listening and learning. Yahweh Shem Shai, Waharakakadash, Barakatam. Okay, now yeah, man, just a quick one. Things pertaining to the covenant. Okay, you know, yeah, man, Ishmael was blessed. Okay, but the covenant, that the Mosai was to make with a people was with who? The Israelites. Okay, of course, which started out with Abram, whose name was changed to Abraham. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to share the screen. Lord willing, I don't want to make this too long. Just going to briefly, okay, very briefly go over it. Get into a couple of scriptures and stuff. So, right, we start out in Genesis chapter 17. Okay, and I'm gonna start from the top, and it says, and when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram. Um, and said unto him, so like I was just thinking about something. I am the almighty power, walk before me and be thou perfect. Okay, I was thinking of the name Abram, and it means Abram means exalted. Right? It comes from the root word in the Hebrew ram, which means to exalt. Okay, and verse 2, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and the Most High talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Okay, neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee, because the name Abraham is what? Exalted father. Okay. Now, if we go back to verse 4, where it says, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. We know what this is, but for edification and clarity's sake, we're going to go to the word for covenant. Okay. Uh, and here it says, uh, Bara'af. Okay. And when you click on it, it says what? Uh, agreement, constitution, ordinance, alliance, treaty, league, okay, pledge. So the agreement, the contract, the constitution, all right, was first established with who? With you know, Abraham. Okay. Verse 6, and I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Okay, because there's many nations which came out from Abraham. Okay, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and this is the crucial point, and thy seed after thee in the generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. Now, Abraham had many seeds, but there was a specific and a particular seed in which the covenant would continue to be established forever from generation to generation. Okay, because in fact, we'll just keep reading and we'll get into it. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power. And Abraham said unto and Salaki, and the Most High said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant, and we've gone for the word covenant, which is what alliance and agreement, a pledge, a constitution, an agreement, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. And the Most High keeps saying, not only with you, but with your seed. Okay, every man child among you shall be circumcised. And then when you read the rest of this, it gets into the circumcision, which is the token of being under the covenant and in the agreement with the Most High as the seed of who? Of Abraham. Okay, now quickly, when you go to Genesis, so like, give me 1 second. Let me go down to verse 15, and it says, and the Most High said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. Okay, which I believe is my princess, and I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations, kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, so he said it in his head, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old, and shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abraham said unto the Most High, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee, because Ishmael was already born. Okay, the Ishmael was Abraham's son. So the Most High is saying to Abraham, look, your wife Sarai, which now her name is Sarah, is going to conceive another son, another child. And, that seems like it's not possible because I'm 100, she's 90 years old. Like, how's that going to work? She's past the age of, being able to bear children. Okay. So Abraham was saying, are you sure, like, let not, isn't Ishmael going to be the one, you know, that will walk before you? Okay. But what does it say? And the Most High said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. Okay. Um, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. So the Most High was saying, no, the covenant which I'm speaking about, that's starting with you, Abraham, is not going to continue through your seed Ishmael. It's going to continue through your seed Isaac, which you will which you will which you will have a year from now. Okay, you know, and the name Isaac is what is the name Isaac means laughter. Okay, because both Abraham and Sarah laughed when at the idea that they would have another son in their old age. Okay, you know, and that proves that the covenant wasn't gonna come through Ishmael. Okay, now when you read verse 20, it says, "And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee." Okay, because Abraham was basically putting in a good word for Ishmael, saying, "Look, isn't the covenant gonna come through him, or what's gonna happen to him?" So it says, "And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation." Okay, and that proves, well, it doesn't prove, but it is a very good indicator that names are very important, man. And oftentimes the name that you're given is because of a situation that's happened before your birth, or um, you know, what will happen after you're born, or the life you'll lead. Because the name Ishmael in the Hebrew is Yashamai Allah. Okay, Yashamai Allah, which means he is heard of God, or God has heard him. Okay, right? So yeah, God heard him in the sense of, yeah, listen, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of Ishmael. I'm gonna bless him. I'm gonna make him fruitful. I'm gonna multiply him exceedingly. Even 12 princes is gonna come out of Ishmael and make him a great nation. But guess what? As for my covenant, though, that's not for him. All right, that's for Isaac. That's what it says in verse 21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, with Sarah shall with which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. Okay, so that's exactly it, man. And this is why the Arabs today, which are the Ishmaelites, okay, there's 12 princes, 12, and all the people that came out of that region, okay, and out of Ishmael, all right, those are the 12 princes, right? And pretty much they're a blessed people. Why? Because the Lord gave them a landmass where there's a lot of oil and stuff like that. That's when you go over there to Saudi Arabia and Dubai and Kuwait and all them places there. They're living very lavish, man. Okay, they're living very lavish. I remember years ago I was on a job, on a construction engineering job, and the project manager, the building wasn't even finished. The apartment wasn't even finished. It was down there in forget the exact place, but it was near London Bridge in central London. And before the place was finished, the project manager said, I remember him saying to us, um, it's not even finished yet, but a Saudi prince, saw it online and he bought it, man. Okay, because you know how they do the graphics, and they can give you like a visual image of the finalized apartment. Okay, and it was something like 1.5 million. All right, and the Saudi prince just bought it, man. Okay, because them Arabs, man, they're extremely rich, they're extremely wealthy because they've got that oil, man. Okay, and because oil is a scarce, um, commodity, all right, the price of it is high. And when you've got it in your possession, you can play with the figures, and because people need it, oil is in high demand. Okay, you know. So yeah, that's not just by chance or by hard work. No, that's the effect of the blessing that Yahweh has given or gave unto Ishmael, which they're still living in that blessing to this day. Okay, to this day, Ishmael is living in his blessing. All right, you know. But as for the covenant, though, which is what the agreement, the alliance, the constitution, as it says, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. All right. And he left off talking with him, and the Mosai went up from Abraham. Okay. And Abraham took Ishmael, his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men the of Abraham's house, and circumcised them, the flesh of their foreskin, in the self same day, as the Mosai had said unto him. Okay. Now, although circumcision is a physical token of being under the covenant, okay, you know, it doesn't mean just because Ishmael was circumcised and his household that he was now under the covenant. No, because the Mosai had already told Abraham, look, go and circumcise them. But really, the covenant which will be made is with your seed that you're going to have next year, which is who? Isaac. Okay. So yeah, that's that, man. This is why to this day the Arabs even still circumcise their male children, their sons. Okay, you know, and it says goes on to say Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh, and it goes on and it says and Ishmael, yeah, it was 13, and Ishmael was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Okay, you know, that means if he was 13, it could have been anywhere from under half a year to all the way up to a fullness of 1 year, which would make a difference of 12 years between Ishmael and Isaac, because Isaac was to be born at that same time in the next year. Okay, so there's a difference of up to at max 12 and a couple of months, years between Ishmael and Isaac. Okay, But the point the Mosai clearly made is that the covenant is with who? Is with would be with Isaac. Okay. And that covenant started with Abraham, went down to Isaac. Okay. And the covenant continued through that seed. Because Ishmael is Ishmael not the seed of Abraham? Yes, but there's a certain seed that that covenant would be translated through from generation to generation. That seed was clearly not Ishmael. That seed was Isaac, which went on to who? To Jacob. Okay, because Jacob had two had sons. Okay, you know, Salakia. Isaac had sons who would what be Jacob uh and and Esau. Okay, so we go to Genesis chapter 27, and from the top, from verse 1, and it says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so he was partially blind, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son. I said unto him, my son, and he said unto him, behold, here I am. All right, because how it goes according to our custom, and this proves that they had the law. Although the law wasn't written, it was oral within us. Okay, you know, that's why we knew about sacrifices. That's why we knew about the Sabbaths and whatnot. That's why we knew about all of the customs and stuff, man. Okay. But pretty much, um, when it came to the blessings, the eldest would get the blessing first. All right. Now, when you read a couple of chapters before, you'd understand that what Esau, out of the two unidentical twins, Esau came out first, making him what the eldest brother. All right, be it by seconds or minutes or whatever, but nonetheless, he came up first, so he's the eldest brother. Okay, so now, and their father was who? Isaac. Okay, the same one who the Mosai said, the covenant that he made with Abraham will pass down not to Ishmael but to Isaac. Okay, so once again, there's now Isaac who has the covenant with him. Who's it going to go to? Jacob or Esau? And this is the story or the account of it now. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison. So he was saying, look, man, go and get me some meat, go and get me some food, hunt it, kill it, all right, bring it back, have them cook it, and bring it to me, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. All right. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee uh, before the Lord before my death. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goat, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. All right. And thou shalt bring it to thy father that he may eat, that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob, he said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. All right. Now, when you read the scriptures and it talks about Jacob and Esau coming out red all over like a hairy garment, it was a common thing back then to dye a garment red, all right, like a heifer. Now, when Esau came out, he wasn't hairy because babies aren't hairy, but he was red though, like a hairy garment. But when he grew up, of course, he became hairy. Okay, so he already knew that his brother was a hairy man. All right. And I am a smooth man. All right. Now we have hair on our skin and stuff, but for the most part, Jake's skin is smooth, man. All right. You know, so his father would know the difference. My father, peradventure, will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. All right. And his mother said unto him, upon thee be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice and go fetch me them. All right. Now I'm going to skip down a bit. I'm going to go to verse 18, and it says, "And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn." Okay, that's why the word Jacob, or named Jacob, Yaquab, means what? Supplanter. "I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless thee." Because what um Jacob did was he took um the skin of the goats and he wrapped it on himself so it felt hairy, like trying to simulate the skin texture, which is hairy, of his brother who Esau, okay, his older brother. And Jacob, and verse 20, and it says, "Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son?" Why? Because he just sent out Esau to do that. But then Jacob is coming, saying, "Dad, I've done it," trying to be like, trying to simulate Esau. Okay, so Isaac was saying, "Well, that's quick. How have you done it so quickly? How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son?" And he said, "Because the Lord thy power brought it to me." All right. And Isaac said unto Jacob, "Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not." Okay, so Isaac was, although he was blind and getting old, or he was old and quite blind, he still had a little bit of faculties about him. "Come here, let me feel you." All right. And Jacob went near unto Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice." Okay, but the hands are the hands of Esau. All right, and that's very spiritual because there's a distinct um you know difference between an Edomite voice and the voice of a Jake, of an Israelite. Okay, like you could have no image, just audio, right? And you'd what's the word I'm looking for? You'd tell the difference, man. All right, you'd be able to tell the difference straight away. Why? Because there's that difference in our voice, man. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau, meaning that it was hairy. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brothers as his brothers Esau's hands. So he blessed him, and he said, "Art thou my very son Esau?" And he said, "I am." All right. So Jacob tricked his father. All right. And he said, "Bring it near, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee." And he brought it near to him, and did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, "Come near now, and kiss me, my son." And he came near and kissed him, and smelt the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, "See, the smell of my son is the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed." Okay. Therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Okay. Now you read on, and it will speak of this is funny, man. It'll tell you the blessings, then damn, man, verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, "Who art thou?" And he said, "I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau." Because when Jacob left the presence of his father Isaac, he came, it says scarcely straight after that, Esau came in, and was like, "Yeah, dad, I've got the meat, mom's gonna cook it." So Isaac was confused, like, "What? But I just, you just gave me the meat, you just gave me the venison, I just blessed you." So Isaac, his father, said unto him, "Who art thou?" And he said, "I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau." And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, "Who, where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed." So once that blessing was pronounced upon Jacob, it couldn't be retracted and given to Esau. Why? Because that's the way the Most High set it up, to be this dramatic, man. Okay. And when Esau heard the word of his father, he cried with a great, exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. Okay. Why? Because Jacob is a supplanter, man. You know, And he said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? See, I was talking about earlier names, man. Names are extremely important. The name you have is because of a situation that's happened before your birth, something that happened at birth, or the role you'll play when you grow up throughout life, man. Okay. So Isaac is saying, yeah, he's rightly named Jacob, man, Yaquab, which means supplanter, for he hath supplanted me these two times. He took away my birthright, and so like this is what Esau was saying, he took away my birthright, and behold, now he taketh away my blessing. All right. So Esau was butthurt, man. Hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? Okay. And this is what the whole, because the scriptures is based around Jacob and Esau, man. And the main fight is this, man. Look, Esau wants his birthright back, and he's gonna do whatever he can to take that birthright back. Okay, this is why the top house of Esau, Amalek, simulate and try and be us, man. You know, and Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, and that was a bitter cry, man. You know, and then you go on and on and on. In fact, let me read verse 40 because that's quite poignant. And it says, And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay, and Esau, this is the point, and to this day this is the case. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay, you know. So this is the continual fight to this day, man. They want to kill Jacob, all right, because Jacob went on to be who? To be Israel. Okay. Why? Because the covenant, and it's not like we stole it and the plan of the Most High went wrong. No, the Most High always had it that the covenant was going to go to Jacob. It's just that he decided to make it go down in this dramatic fashion. Why? Because the Lord is the ultimate playwright. All right. Drama and suspense and all of that good stuff. Okay. Now, covenant was established with Israel. Okay, because his name was changed from Yaquab to what? Yasha Allah, meaning Prince of the Power. Now, as a nation, because we were talking about the people, first of all, Abraham, had Ishmael and Isaac. Okay, and then Isaac had Jacob and Esau. All right. And if you can receive it, Isaac was who? Was Yahweh Shai. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, why it went to another tab. Um, Bear me for 1 second. Let's see something. Spare me 1 second. Genesis 27. Right. Don't know what happened there. But yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, if you can bear in the spirit, Isaac is Yahweh Shai. All right. Now what was I gonna say? The covenant went to Jacob, and obviously the people that his name was now Israel, and the people that came from him is what known as the Israelites. Okay, so the pure seed from generation to generation, the line would be Abraham to Isaac uh, to Jacob. All right, and the people that came from Jacob being who? His 12 sons, the which constitute as what? The 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, that's exactly it. That's how it goes, man. All right. So now the covenant was established with the nation of Israel, and you can read that through various places in the scriptures, but you can pick that up in Exodus chapter the 24th chapter. Okay, now quickly, just to go over it really, really quickly, it says here, let me start from verse 2. And Moses alone shall come near to the Lord, because the Lord came down in a chariot upon the mountain in front of all of the nation of Israel. But they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words that the Lord Yahweh, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord have spoken we will do. Why? Because the covenant was re-established now with the sons of Jacob. Okay, all right, the sons of Israel, right? So that's who the covenant is with, man. And at Mount Sinai, we agreed to keep the covenant, which we either, didn't do a very good job of it, but nonetheless, the covenant was with us. And Moses wrote all the words. So like Moses wrote all the words of the Lord and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men to the children of Israel, which is really of the sons of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant, which is what the law, and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord hath said we will do, and be obedient. Why? Because through the sacrifice of the oxen and it being in the basin and sprinkled on the people was the sealing or the bonding of that covenant. All right, the finalization, the approval, the validation of that covenant, the agreement as we went through between the Heavenly Father and the nation of Israel. That was, of course, broken, time after time after time. In fact, since I've said that, let me pull this precept. This is Psalm 78 and 10, and it says, "They kept not the covenant of the Father and refused to walk in His law," which is exactly what we did. Okay, so because of that, the covenant was broken over and over again. This is why it had to be made new. Not that it's a completely new thing, but it's been refreshed through who? The blood of Yahweh Shai. Okay, this is why. Uh, and once again, another precept just to back what I've said, Exodus 32 and 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff necked people, very stubborn. But it was reestablished through Yahweh Shai. This is why he says, 1 second, behold, I make all things new. Okay, this is in the book of Revelation, Revelations chapter 21 and 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, which is who Yahweh Shai, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is the one. The word new, there's kindness, which means what? To refresh. So Yahweh Shai has refreshed the old covenant, which is the same covenant which has been renewed and made new again. Okay, in fact, let's get that. The blood of the covenant. Let's see. I know that's in Matthew somewhere. Bear with me 1 second. That's not. In fact, just bear with me 1 second. Getting a call, man. Go away. Leave me alone. This is Matthew 26 and 28. For this is my blood of the new covenant, of the New Testament, which is same, another word synonymous for covenant. okay, which is shed for many for the remission of sins, the many being the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, okay. But as we read in Exodus, the blood, half of the blood that Moses took and put in the basins and then sprinkled upon the people, okay, you know, this is that was representative of Yahweh's blood being spilt for many, which is what the nation of Israel for the remission of sin. Why? Because sin is the transgression of the law, the very covenant and law which we didn't keep. Hence why we read in Psalm 78, they kept not the covenant, so therefore we fell into sin and refused to walk in his law. That is sin. Okay. So as it says here in Matthew 28, 26 and 28, one more time, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sin, which is who? The remission of sin. That proves that Yahushua only died for the nation of Israel, not for the whole world, as in all nations. Why? Because remission of sin is the forgiveness of sin. Now, if sin be the breaking of the law, it means that it's only pertaining to those people who were under the law. And the only nation that was under the law was who? Was the Israelites. Hence why the scriptures go into extensive detail as recorded that the Most High said, listen, I'm going to make my covenant with your seed. Okay. It's not going to be Yashmael. It's not going to be Ishmael. It's not going to be Esau. It's going to be with who? It's gonna go to your son Isaac, which will go to his son Jacob, and then the nation which comes from him, which is known as the Israelites. Okay. So yeah, the Edomites have been, that's why the scriptures say the triumphing of the wicked is short, because the Most High rose you up, Esau, but you're coming down. And yeah, you Arabs, you Ishmaelites, you've been blessed, okay, but your blessing will come to an end, so to speak, because the covenant was not made with you, okay. The Israelites will be the rulers of the world to come, okay. The kingdom, which will be heaven on earth, which is the setup of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, okay. So, there's a couple of more precepts that's coming to mind, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there for now, because Lord will, and around maybe, I'm going to put a time on it, but Lord's will, Abu Razar, I plan on going live with one of the brothers later on tonight again. So I don't want to make this too long. Don't want to tire myself out, because I'm, most likely going to go on live with the brother, but we'll see what the spirit, allows, man. Let me just go to the comment board and get a couple of these precepts, man. Shalom, man. Shalom, Banyan 144k. This is Genesis chapter 16 and 11. And it says, and the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. Okay. Yeah. And that's beautiful precept. And as I said before, the word Ishmael, the word Ishmael in Hebrew is Yashamai Allah, which means he, the Most High, or he is heard of the power, or he is heard of God. Yashamai Allah. Okay, Yahi Shamai, um, to hear. All right, and Allah meaning power or God. So Yashamai Allah, he's heard of the power. Beautiful precept. One last one. Oh, verse 12, Salakia, it says, and he will be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Exactly. And when you get into them, the people's characteristics, they're indeed wild people, man. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm gonna, end it here, because Lord's will, if he wills, man, I'm gonna go live in a bit with one of the brothers, man. But I hope that's been an edifying lesson. Just a quick hit, just a quick one, briefly going over the covenants. Okay, yes, Ishmael was blessed of the Most High. The Most High heard him. All right. And yes, Esau was the firstborn, but the covenant is with Israel. Always was, is now, and shall be forevermore. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Shalom.